This is going to be a full moon in Gemini. Pick a card reading. If it's meant for you, it's meant for you. We're going to do a pick a card reading to see what information or messages you need to know for this upcoming full moon in Gemini happening on November 27th. A few things to tell you about this full moon is that Gemini is all about communication. So thoughts, your feelings, they're all going to come to the surface. And there's a few astrological placements that I want to point out that could have an effect on you with this moon. And that is Moon square Saturn and Pisces. You know, this type of energy is about control. It's almost like something wants to control our emotions, and that's not a comfortable feeling. You might be finding yourself in a position where somebody's telling you how to feel, or maybe you're not feeling heard. And this might be an opportunity for you to set some boundaries or to continue maintaining boundaries that have been previously difficult. Now, another aspect I want to mention is the moon opposite Mars, and that can be a bit of a fighting energy, you know, where one side feels justified in their thoughts and the other side might take things a little bit personally. Now, I know we just had Thanksgiving in the United States, and being around family is never an easy thing. And there could have been a bit of drama or some tension, but just understand that this time that we're in right now is about purging, letting go, and of course, new beginnings, right? You know, there's been a few tower moments this past week, especially for me. I'm curious to know how you're feeling. So in the comments, let me know if you're feeling any of this tension. On the other hand, I just want to mention that with full moons, yes, we have endings which bring new beginnings. I think a lot of things will come to the surface communication-wise, whether it's good or uncomfortable. I think that Gemini energy can be quite silly and playful and sometimes blurt out things, you know? And so maybe some things will come out to the surface, like it could be some feelings or something that's being needed to be said. And so, you know, I encourage you to take everything with a grain of salt during this time. Try to stay calm, cool, and collected. Do something nice for yourself and just basically take it in stride. So I want you to take a look at the decks that I have here. They're all moon oracles. Pick the one that you resonate with most. Look at the colors, look at the imagery, and then I will basically go through each deck and pull some cards about the, you know, mental space, the emotional space, and the spiritual space. So as long as you've picked your cards, we're ready to go. So number 1, number 2, or number 3. Okay, so I'm going to move the other decks away for a moment, and we shall start with deck number 1. So let's see, if you chose deck number 1, what overall messages you need to know for this full moon in Gemini. Do nothing. I like that. Just take a breath. Do nothing. Don't overdo anything. Just take it easy. All right. I like that. Accept responsibility. Okay. So accept responsibility for how things have gone in the past or your role. You don't have to justify in the sense of like going back and forth about something. Just focus on yourself. I really believe that that's the key right now. Okay. So let's get some tarot and see what you need to know about this energy. Let's look at what do you need to know about your headspace right now. What are your thoughts? Okay. Well, there's the King of Wands, and I like this because the King of Wands has been coming out quite a bit lately. You know, right now you might be thinking about how to move yourself forward. What do you want? What are your goals? You know, that's something that's come up for me in the past couple of days where I've mentioned goal setting, and I don't always do that. But maybe, you know, in the comments right now, let me know what your goals are. What are you thinking of doing? Now, I know that card said do nothing, but here's the thing. During a time of a full moon, rest, purge, think about your plans if you want to, but you don't have to like change the world in a day. You know what I mean? With every step you take, you release an old step. So this is not saying you have to jump the whole staircase. It's basically just saying, you know, what do you aspire to do? Okay? You don't have to do everything right now. And there's the Knight of Wands. there's that fiery energy, Sagittarius energy. We're in Sag season, right? So the Knight of Wands is passion in the pants, right? It's basically an energy that rides in very quickly and leaves just as fast. So you've got to be a little bit careful because, again, you're going to have moments where you're like, oh my gosh, I want to do this, 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 and this. And then you're going to have moments where you're like, yeah, I don't feel like it. And that's normal. That's normal. But you might be finding yourself going back and forth about what to do, which would be very much a Gemini thing, right? Geminis have high worry and anxiety. And when their head hits the pillow at night, all they do is think about, oh my gosh, how am I going to do this? How am I going to handle this? What's the outcome? And essentially, I love that this card came out because the Page of Cups says, believe in miracles. You're in the early stages of something. Like I said, you don't have to have the whole thing planned out. Just know that everything's going to work out exactly the way that it's supposed to. And, oh, I thought that card was going to come out, but it's stuck. Ah, Queen of Swords. I knew that card got stuck for a reason because the Queen of Swords is about boundaries, right? Cutting anything out that no longer serves you. That is the key. Okay, let's take a look at what is going on in your heart space, in the emotional side. Okay, are you living your authentic truth? Is somebody telling the truth? Has there been some betrayal? You know, that type of energy is about revealing truth. And we talked about that earlier in the opening. And there's the Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands is shooting one's shot. It's manifestation. It's communication. Interesting. And there's the Six of Pentacles. In your heart space or emotional space, you need equal giving and receiving and balance. You know, I say that every single day where we have to make sure that we're not overgiving. You're allowed to receive. And look, there is the King of Swords. How interesting, though, that we have the counterparts right on top of the other. A little spicy reading here. No wonder we had the Knight of Wands, a little bit of passion in the pants. But, you know, boundaries, logical, decisive. All right, let's take a look at what's going on spiritually for you. Six of Cups. You know, Six of Cups is a card of nostalgia. It is possibly a wish coming true. You know, I think that you've got to be very aware of anything from the past that's sort of coming to the surface. Are you in the old? Are you in the new? You know, I ask this question all the time. In order to have the new, again, you have to release the old. With every step you take forward, you release one old step of the past. And, you know, the Eight of Swords, a lot of overthinking is happening. Now, again, another pattern I'm noticing here is, you know, 8-8. You know, we have the king, or sorry, queen and king over here. 8-8. You know, Eight of Swords is the illusion of mental entrapment. And what is holding you back spiritually? What do you think is holding you back spiritually? Because this is the thing. People ask me all the time. They say, you know, how do I surrender? How do I let go? Well, you know, easier said than done, but you have to let go of the past. You have to let go of the old story you have about yourself, the story you have about a person. It's not the current situation. And if it is the current situation and you don't like it, then you have to find ways to move yourself ahead. Okay? Because otherwise you stay in the same old, same old. And I don't think you want to stay in the same old, same old. So let's see. Here's the World. See, again, completion of a cycle. Allow the past to be in the past. Allow yourself to go to the next level or to the next round. And look, Five of Swords. Put down the sword. Stop fighting. Stop the battles. You know, this is basically saying you've got a headache. You know, you're conflicted, but fives indicate big changes ahead, okay? So let me just take a Power of Surrender card for deck number 1. And let's see what you need to surrender or surrender to. Okay, surrender to success. You are ready to experience abundance. Don't look back at previous roadblocks or difficulties. Leap into an exciting new world of possibilities. So, I mean, listen, I think this is just a message to tell you that, you know, you need to make some boundaries. You need to be open to miracles and to new possibilities. But in order to have those new possibilities, you've got to let go of the old, okay? I'm really drawn to this King and Queen of Swords here. I mean, that's very strong energy, and those are counterparts. So I don't know if this relates to a relationship, but I'm also going to mention that, you know, Swords is Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. You don't have to be those signs, but we do have a full moon in Gemini. So there's something to this, okay? Now, I'm going to put these cards off to the side, and we're going to go to deck number 2. Let me know if this resonated with you, you know, and if you would like to go and listen to, oops, as I hit the table, excuse me, to deck number 2 and see if there's any other messages there for you. Go right ahead. Okay, so let's go to deck number 2 and see what are the overall messages. Yeah, I've seen this card nonstop. Transform, rebuilding, lasting change, shaping your future. Okay. Let's see what else we need to know. Protection. Nurture goals, get support, hold your boundaries. Well, okay, there's a connection to deck number 1. Hold your boundaries. All heart. Wow. Doing what you truly love, and this is about committed relationships. Wow. Okay, let's take a look. I'm really curious to see now what we're going to encounter in these cards. We're going to, again, take a look at the mental, the emotional, and the spiritual messages that you need to know. Well, something just popped over right away, and that is healing. 4 of Swords. You might need a rest, a break. Funny how in deck number 1 we talked about doing nothing, you know? Okay. Page of Pentacles. This is learning, studying. Could be an offer coming in, being recognized. 7 of Wands. Are you on the offensive or are you on the defensive? You know, that's a bit of a tough card because I'll tell you what I envision when I think of somebody in the 7 of Swords. When someone crosses their arms, that is basically closed off energy that says, don't come near me. Are you in the body language that says, I'm closed, or are you open? Because I think, again, a lot of people have perceived openness, and healing takes time. You know, learning takes time. We are lifelong learners. Things don't change overnight. And that's why transformation, again, takes time. So are you ready to stand up and be open? Because, see, 4 of Pentacles. These doors are locked. 44 could very well be a sign for you if you're seeing that angel number. But I would just say that there's very mixed energy here, because this is like saying, I'm going to magically manifest an offer or a recognition of something. You know, I'm healing, but am I really healing? Am I really open? Or am I in self-preservation mode and protecting myself? And there's nothing wrong with protecting yourself, but you've got to ask yourself, you know, why? Why is the old energy so strong? Now let's take a look at the heart space, the emotional space. 7 of Pentacles. Patience. I feel like for whoever chose deck number 2, you need patience. And patience is not waiting. Patience is living your life and trusting the process and letting things unfold naturally. It's like saying the seed is planted. Not going to harvest overnight. It will in due time. You know, we had 7-7 here, 4-4. So you might be seeing those angel numbers. 6 of Pentacles, equal giving and receiving and balance. We just talked about that. I feel like that's a universal message for everybody, to be honest with you. And that is, we're allowed to receive. It's okay. It's okay to lean back. You don't always have to be giving. And, you know, I just want to remind you, with the holidays approaching, there's so much media that says, buy this, buy that, give this so people love you. Remember, gifts come from the heart, you know? Ask yourself, what are the intentions behind it? Because I think intentions are very powerful. You don't need to overgive to people in order to feel loved. Okay? So let's see what else we need to know. The King of Pentacles. And I love the King of Pentacles. It's just a very slow-moving energy. You will be abundant in the long run. It's very similar to the Seven of Pentacles and the idea that the seed is planted. Like I said, you're going to have some blips in the road. You're going to have to trust the process. You might repeat a few things along the way, but in the end, you are going to have that abundance as long as you stay strong and move onwards and upwards. And see, Two of Pentacles, balance, simplifying your life. I almost feel like you have too much going on. You're almost trying to do too much. You know, I always talk about working hard, working smart. I prefer working smart. You know, sometimes we try to do way too much, and that gets us into trouble. And then we feel overwhelmed, and then we don't know what to do. And it leaves us feeling a bit stuck. So let's see what's going on spiritually. See, Eight of Wands. Shooting one shot, communication. Again, some repeating cards here. Very, very interesting. There's always a connection, right? And we have the Sun, the Yes card, the happiest card in the deck. And I love that. The sun always rises. And the Page of Wands, throwing caution to the wind. This is beautiful. This is going on an adventure. You know, and I'm definitely feeling the fiery energy. This is all fire down here, right? Eight of Wands, if I'm not mistaken, that's Sagittarius. You know, Page of Wands, Sagittarius. We are in Sag season right now. And there's the Fool, trusting and taking a leap of faith. That's Aries. We have like all fire here. And what I find really interesting, just as an observation, look back over here. This is all Pentacles. So let's go back for a second. You know, in the headspace, there's this need to heal, to think about the tangible, right? To ask yourself, are you holding yourself back? Because again, more Pentacles. And then in the heart space here, emotionally, you're looking for tangible fulfillment. You want to see it in the real world. But in order to have that, you've got to understand that patience is key. And confidence is key. Confidence that it's all going to work out exactly the way that it's supposed to. And then, you know, in the spiritual energy here, this is like manifestation, shooting your shot. There's the magic here of this wand saying, yes, look at this. There's this power, you know, that just says, I'm going to be creative. I'm going to go on an adventure. I'm about to take that leap. What's going to happen? We don't know, but it's exciting. It doesn't have to be scary, okay? So let's take a Power of Surrender card here, just to see what you need to surrender or surrender to. Surrender fear. Let go of the fearful stories you're telling yourself. Stay in the moment, focus on solutions, and celebrate every baby step forward. Well, I really hope you resonate with deck number 2. Again, I'm going to put these cards to the side and we'll go to deck number 3. So while I'm just clearing the cards, I want you to sort of think back. What resonated with you? Is there something that has made you think or change your perspective? Okay, let's look at deck number 3. Let's get the overall messages. Your dreams need a practical plan. Okay, so when I see this, I don't think, oh my goodness, you have to have everything set in stone. I think you just need to set some intentions. You know, what are your goals? And it's funny, I've been using that word. I don't always say, what are your goals? But right now I kind of feel like this is the time, and I'll tell you why. We're approaching 2024, and I can't believe how quickly the year has gone by. You know, I remember around this time last year, I was thinking about 2023 tarot forecasts. And by the way, the 2024 tarot forecast will be up on my website for purchase very soon, where we can look into the energies for the upcoming year. But essentially, you need to think about, what are your intentions? Who do you want to be? What do you want to do? Where do you want to go? You don't have to have everything set in stone. It's not about that. It's just sort of setting the intentions and seeing where they take you. Conclusions are within reach. Again, we're releasing the old in order to have the new. And you have to be okay with that. See, what do you need to release? So that's not surprising. Let's take a look at the tarot and see what we need to know. Let's go now to the mental. What's going on in your headspace? Oh, there's cards from the other deck that are like poking out here. I didn't even know this. Okay. Okay, there's that Page of Pentacles. We're seeing repeating cards, different decks, repeating cards. Page of Pentacles. So in your headspace, this is a recognition. This could be studying or learning something, wanting to. I mean, that could be your goal. Wanting to read new books, wanting to start a business, you know, could be anything. What is it that you'd like to study or learn? Or what would you like to be recognized for? This could also be an offer coming to you. And this card wants to pop out. Three of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles is collaboration, working together. Someone or something may come in and offer you an upgrade to your current situation. And Nine of Cups, ask and you shall receive. That's all you got to do. Set the intentions. And there's the Lovers. Wow. Deep soul connection. That's Gemini energy. So, you know, if you're looking for love, this could be for you. I'm normally not so silent. It's just I'm thinking of some interesting things, but I want to see what's going on in the heart space first before I comment. Let's see. Eight of Pentacles. I just said it earlier. Working hard, working smart, right? Which one? We're seeing a lot of pentacles, a lot of tangible here. There's work to do in the heart space. And I think, you know, sometimes we want the other person, if this is about a relationship, to do the work, and we ignore what we need to do. But remember that what we put out is what we get back. Who we are, how we project is what we attract. So if you know that you've got work to do it slowly but surely. Nobody says it has to be done overnight. It takes time and consistency. There's the Star, healing. And I said this, I believe, in deck number 1, that, you know, again, healing does not happen overnight. You know, unfortunately, it's really hard sometimes when I'm in sessions when I have to say, does healing happen in 30 days, 60 days, 90 days? Now, I recognize there is not necessarily a timeline for healing. You know, one's pace is one's pace. Everybody's on a different timeline. But in my opinion, when it comes to relationships or leaving a relationship, let's just say, how much time is necessary to heal? And can someone fully acknowledge and heal in a short period of time? You know, anything is possible. But I want you to recognize that in your heart space, there's work to do in regards to healing. And, you know, every deck has had the Six of Pentacles. Equal giving and receiving and balance. So there's the theme. Make sure that you're not overgiving. Make sure that you are allowing yourself to receive. Page of Swords, I want you to be logical and decisive, and I want you to be very careful that you're not spying or observing, or that you're energetically chasing. Okay? So let's see what's going on in these spiritual energies here. Oops, I thought that was gonna... the Hierophant. Spiritual ascension, commitment, marriage, union, whatever that is to you. Very interesting. You're taking the methodical steps, and this is what I'm saying. It takes time. You know, the Hierophant is Taurus energy. It's slow. It's slow. Nobody's ever going to push a Taurus to do something that they don't want to do. There's judgment. Judgment day. It's a wake-up call. This is a reawakening, as I call it. It's time to heed the call. It's time to go through the transformation, to continue the transformation. Never give up. Surrender, yes, but never give up. I will never let you give up. Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles is somebody who is stable. You know, she loves her family and home. She likes nice things, but she's also generous. And, you know, the Rabbit here, you know, that can just be new beginnings, right? Fertility. I love that she's got that stable energy. She's not overgiving to anybody. She also receives. She's comfortable. There's the Sun, the Yes card, the happiest card in the deck. You know, I've been saying it a lot today. I mean, here comes the sun. Everything will work out exactly the way that it's supposed to. The sun always rises. Okay, so let's take a Power of Surrender card here just to see what you need to surrender or surrender to. Surrender to setting limits. You know, this full moon in Gemini is about that, making boundaries. It is healthy to set boundaries in relationships. Practice expressing your needs and remember that no is a complete sentence. Absolutely. I really hope that this resonates with you. This has been an interesting reading for sure. I see a lot of patterns, repeating cards. Let me know in the comments what resonated with you, what number you picked. And, I always appreciate your kindness and support. A subscribe, a like, a comment. If you'd like to book a personal reading with me, the link is in my bio. Thank you very much, and I wish you the most amazing full moon in Gemini.